kind of fire within you that hasn't been unlocked yet, having that loneliness and transmuting it into something was huge for me. I watched it while I was going through it with the post-Olympic blues. I was in a place and I was just binging the first couple arcs of Naruto again, being like, yo, that's just like me. That's how I feel a lot of the time. And seeing how he speaks to people like Gaara, who went the path of, initially went down the path, and Sasuke gave of sort of vengeance and bitterness, and just being like, nah, fam, like, kindness. That's almost the weak way. That's the easy way out. Kindness, diligence, hard work. And it was like he was speaking directly to me. And that's just something, it's fiction, but it's real. It's so...
Would you rather run a 400-meter race against Rock Lee without his ankle weights, guys, fully released, or Usain Bolt with Ultra Instinct?
How bad that is. Well...
Over and over again, eat, sleep, train, repeat. Over and over again, eat, sleep, train, repeat. Over and over again, eat, sleep, train, repeat. Challenging myself every single day because slow feet don't eat. I'm on a mission, my purpose, avoid defeat. But it's hard. You see, I'm not talking about defeat outside. I'm talking about the defeat that's inside, that likes to rewind, likes to remind you of those times that leaves you paralyzed. Now that word you despise is suddenly resized. No, wait, it's outside. Outsized, it's fear. False evidence appearing real. Well, thank the Lord, for you opened my eyes and now I'm baptized. Defeat is still here, but every day I'm able to capsize, turn it over and reframe. For now I am wise. Fear. Face everything and rise. That, ladies and gentlemen, was something that I just came up with as I prepared for our latest super amazing guest. Our guest today is no stranger to fear, battling every day to achieve his goals. And achieve he has. He is a British 400-meter champion, European 4x4 relay champion, world champion, bronze medalist, an Olympian. Let me say that again, an Olympian. Just as a rough calculation, about 1 in 10 million or worse would be picked as an Olympian for the 4x4. Not only did our guest qualify and go to the Paris Olympics, but he got 2 bronze medals at the Paris Olympics. He is a European record holder, a national record holder. He's not only fast on his feet, but he's fast with his mind. He's currently studying a PhD in solar energy. Ladies and gentlemen, all our super lights, it's my honor and privilege. The weeb-loving, Olympic-winning, trailblazing, amazingly gifted Alex Haydock-Wilson is on the podcast. I'm so nervous, but thank you so much for coming on.
Bro, I'm sweating already. Bro. No,
appreciate
that was crazy. That's you, yeah?
Yeah.
My days. Thank you very much. That's the craziest intro I've ever received, man.
No, all good, and it's well deserved, man. Your accolades speak for themselves. Look, one thing that we love about the show, or something that's customary, is an icebreaker. What's something that people don't know about you that you'd like to share on the podcast today?
What people don't know about me is that I'm super musical.
Okay.
Know that, but yeah, my first love was playing guitar, and I thought that would be my whole life, and in a lot of ways it still is, but yeah, that's something I'd love to share on this podcast, where art is welcome and part of the fabric of the podcast. Clearly, yeah.
Absolutely, man. Oh, sick. Hey, you want to do any collabs, let me know. But yeah, that's amazing, man. And look, it's crazy because I remember watching the Paris Olympics, cheering you guys on in a relay, and then seeing you guys do JJK celebration. I was like, wait, what? These guys do anime? And I was like, yo, this is so good. And I was like, I was gonna get you on a podcast, and I'm so glad that you've been able to come on the show. So I'm so excited for this. So thank you once again.
Nah, honestly, it's a pleasure. It's a real honor. Thank you for inviting me.
No worries. So, like Alex, most of people know you as a sprinter, but you are, like I said, multifaceted human being. As I stated at the top of the show, studying your PhD in solar energy, and obviously for the purpose of this show, you're a huge anime fan. So let's dive straight into it. Your first anime. What sparked the love? Led you down the rabbit's hole, as it were.
I think
What
like,
was your?
my first anime was the same as most people's first introduction to anime. Well, I feel like in the West, studio.
Mm.
I had my dad had the privilege of actually doing post studies. He went to live in Japan. So him, my uncle, even my mum went to Japan for a couple years. So that culture is sort of woven it like in the family. We still got like heirlooms. I love to use this like Japanese like eating bowl for whenever I have my cereal. It just feels like so Japan's part of the family in a way. And we'd have the original VHSs. I've got the original VHS of Princess Mononoke Hime,
Jeez.
and I watched it in full Japanese, no subs, just
Whoa. Okay.
affirming.
Yeah.
And I can't say my Japanese is any better because of it, but hopefully it's latent somewhere. But
Mm.
I could enjoy it without any English interpretation whatsoever. So that was the first experience.
Do you know what? I don't think I've ever seen a Ghibli film in sub, It's the only one where I think we as quote unquote weebs will, like, the whole sub versus dub, but I think it's the only one that weebs will be like, all right, cool. Because
Uh,
I think it's just, you know what I mean?
I love Cold because they'll get like an all-star cast and that. And there's some things in one thing that give and take. Like I wouldn't say it's a bad or good thing, but with the dubs, they like to fill silences. So like there'll be like something said in the background, you don't even notice it until you go to the sub and you realize there are a lot of periods where they'll give inner monologue in the dub, or they'll give a good example is, have you seen Castle in the Sky?
Yeah.
Like the whole period where Patsu's like on the outside of the castle narrating what he's gonna do and stuff, in the sub that's completely silent. So you're just there watching him do the whole thing in silence, and it adds a different dimension to it. So I definitely recommend it. Not saying it's better, but I'm saying
Yeah, it's different for sure. No, I think you're right. I think obviously dub. It's a lot of people think you translate just for like for like, but for dub, it's more so how do I translate that makes sense to a Western audience. So no, I completely agree. And I know when my brother was in uni, he lived with a Japanese roommate, and she was saying how when you watch, even if you watch it in subtitles, because you obviously read in subtitles, it's not necessarily what you're hearing them saying. Obviously, you can catch most of it, like 90% of it. But she was saying it's actually funnier, or it means more something deeper, as it were, when you understand the Japanese. So no, I completely hear you on that. So you've done your first anime. Second question is, like, anime has loads of training arcs, and I'm sure you love training arcs, right? So firstly, what is your favorite anime training arc? And then second question, what's been the toughest training arc in your career, and how did you push through it?
my days. Oh, I love this question. Right, first one to come to mind.
Mm.
I love the Hunter x Hunter training arc. When they're learning then on the fly, but also when they're training before the Chimera Ant arc.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing that deficit training with
Yeah,
Knuckles.
with Biscuit.
Oh my days, Bisc, bro, so the training done there, immaculate. The way it's
Yeah.
done in Yu Yu Hakusho as well, also Togashi, immaculate. Full Metal Alchemist comes to mind.
Mm-hmm.
Training arts, but yeah, man. Also Naruto, prior, unbelievable. I love how that's always an opportunity for the anime to just kind of like slow down into something and proper
Mm.
learn something in those arcs where they're just figuring it out, and then it makes those big battles so sweet.
Nah, for sure. I think one of my biggest influences is Dragon Ball Z, just in terms of like upskilling yourself, or I say upskilling, but training. So I've said it on the podcast, I used to be a chubby kid, and then I saw Goku and Vegeta training and so on and so forth. Like it pushed me. I started wearing weighted vests, ankle weights, and all these kind of different things. Just because they inspired me, and I think they've inspired a generation of people as well to hit the gym and so on and so forth. So I completely agree with you. Sometimes that's my favorite part of an anime, the scene where, like, everyone likes a hero's journey, kind of like a come up. So seeing where they started and where they got to, it's kind of like it's relatable. You know what I mean?
100%. That's where like I love superhero movies and I love
Mm.
comic, but that's where I feel like anime as a kid like properly empowered me in a way that comic book movies often felt like, all right, the person stumbles across something that makes them special, and then it's just them being special. Whereas this idea that you're able to train yourself up to do incredible feats, even like Krillin and Ten Shinhan being humans,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
like one of the scenes that gets me most gassed, uh, like easily, is Semi Perfect Cell, where Tien pulls up
Tien, yeah, yeah, yeah.
him all the way into the ground, and you're like, this guy's he's just a dude. But it was sick. And I love Dragon Ball for that reason as well. Just that
Mm,
everyone's just very skilled martial artists. It's not this big power scale off. It's just
yes.
skills and training and diversity, and I love that.
Yeah, I think for me, Dragon Ball. I know that all three are great, but for me, Dragon Ball was the best one. Just it was less flashy, more kind of like fundamentals, which I really liked. And yeah, the second question was, what's the toughest training arc in your career, and how did you push through it?
Yes, toughest training arc in my career was definitely the one to run below 46 seconds.
Mm,
That was, yeah, I remember. Oh, no, no, no. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. Toughest concentrated training arc. That was like a prolonged one. The toughest concentrated one was definitely last year, pre-Olympics, 100%.
mm,
Because essentially I kind of started a little bit injured, and I came back to my home coach, and I come off the back of Europeans, and I just wasn't in the right shape. Like I tried, I'd really thought that I'd be able to pull out a good performance, but I was in like consistent 46 shape, and that showed across the races. And
mm.
to be in 44 shape to be able to contribute something major for the games. So yeah, I locked in with my first ever coach, but who is from St. Kitts, in his 80s now, and just an absolute powerhouse. Like so wise, and he was able to take me in sort of like my the shape I was in. We started doing double sessions. We were going to the pool. We were leaving no stones unturned. I really started looking into my diet really seriously, and we were even out there in the Olympic, like when most people are tapering, we were out in the Olympic holding camp hitting double sessions, train in the morning intense, get a nap in, and then go and train again in the evening. So it was like the whole thing was just consumed by this goal of like getting into the right shape, and then it all paid off for those two medals in the relays. So yeah, shout out to Bert, but that felt like a real montage. Like
Yeah.
every led up to the next, and it was really special as well.
Crazy because you mentioned so many things like training twice, your diet, swimming. It's like those and especially on your elite level, like I said, 1 in 10 million, which is phenomenal. Like, so on that elite level, I imagine everything is scrutinized. And I really loved, and this was a question I was going to ask regarding your mathematics in terms of, because, sometimes anime, it kind of, you kind of feel like, I want to say, so we basically did it. We did an episode, right? We did an episode called Shonen, what was it? Does anime make you delusional? In a way, it kind of it was basically, but the episode was called "Is Gambete Enough?" Has shown in delusion anime fans, right? And I saw your content on how to manifest using maths. Great video, by the way. And for people who haven't seen it, go and watch it. Alex basically, essentially plots out his best and worst case scenarios and outcomes with of his goals in a scientific approach. I thought it was incredible. But my question to you is, do you think there's some element of delusion allowed for the highest level of competition?
I think we first of all, like I love using the word delusion because it's
Mm,
what people instantly pops up in most people's heads when you say something crazy like I'm going to be the world champion and
mm,
you've got the numbers to prove it or
mm,
obvious path. But like delusions, often when we refer to delusions, they're not even delusions. They're just extrapolations that are unlikely. Like the likelihood is low, or often it's less even like the likelihood is low, more they're statistically uncomfortable uh,
mm,
because they demand a level of self-belief. They demand a level of like I guess like it demands you pushing what's comfortable, not just within yourself, but for other people. People love predictability, especially in sport. You want to like even in like the good case, like you really want the person you root for to win. There's a big betting economy with a lot of sports,
mm,
so big upsets are kind of like rare. And then
mm-hmm,
when they
mm-hmm,
happen, just that they're rare, but people will use the logic to kind of build around it to try and explain it. Because when something unlikely happens, they want to know that they could have predicted it all along. You know what I mean? Like people,
mm,
they love that security of knowing. So it was more just to sort of like use the word delusional, but I know in myself that when I'm saying delusional, I'm not talking delusions. I'm talking extrapolations. I'm talking data.
mm,
I'm talking facts. I'm just talking about the exceptional statistics that I have been both sides of. So, for example, um, I came into the World Championships in 2022, and I was ranked. I must have been ranked outside the top 20 going in with my season's best, and then I came out 10th in the world. That's delusional. If I'd gone in with that thinking that I'd be 10th in the world, I
mm-hmm,
could have been delusional. But what happened there is that I ended up becoming a statistical kind of like at the upper bound of that bell curve,
mm-hmm,
and my self belief and my faith in God and my hard
mm,
work coaching allowed me to push, like to push into that kind of 98th percentile of reality.
mm-hmm,
It's just about making yourself at home in those exceptional circumstances. Like it won't happen every time. Like be okay with not being the exception, but also make yourself very at home, make your mind feel welcome
mm-hmm,
to the exception, so that when it comes, you're gravitating towards it. You're not the one who's holding yourself back from the blessings that are to come. And I think
mm,
that's a good thing to do especially if you're someone who's very logical, and because that means your brain is more able to play tricks on you and to talk
mm-hmm,
yourself because it's scared. It will disguise itself as logic, but often it will just be your fear kicking in. Oh,
yeah,
you're not do that because that's delusions, blah 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 blah. And it's just good to get a good case study out there. Just put all the numbers on paper and say, look, I'm not delusional. I'm just
mm-hmm,
talking fine margins. And like, why not believe in those fine?
mm,
It doesn't hurt any. It genuinely doesn't hurt any less if you don't believe in yourself. I'm sorry. Like losing hurts whether I believe that I was capable of doing something crazy or not. Like that's just inbuilt. So this attempt to protect yourself is just in vain. But
mm,
self is truly the way that you can pull yourself to some a destiny that's higher. Like, and then making yourself at home in that percentile, the bell curve just starts to shift along with it. So I definitely encourage people to lean into those delusions. I definitely
mm,
master patience at the same time. That's the one thing that makes our delusions feel too heavy to hold, is when we're impatient. It's like you plant that seed, and then you kind of expect it on your own terms, and that can backfire big time. But if you've planted that seed and you've done the belief work and you lay the foundations, like I do all the time, the next part that I need to master is just allowing it to emerge in its own time and not trying to force
mm.
because I know what I'm capable of. I've done the maths. It's just, but when you're pushing for exceptions and percentile outcomes, bro, that thing takes time. Like you're gonna
Mm.
allow reality to catch up with the seed you've sown. So that's what I'd say to all my delusional anime fans. It doesn't always happen in a 5 episode chaining arc. Think more.
Yeah.
Like,
Just go into hyperbolic time chamber and come out wham. Now I fully hear you. Even that was a year, to be fair. I know says it's obviously a day in real world, but that was a year. And I like the way you framed that in terms of, look, you can be delusional, but there is logic and statistics and facts behind that. I think where it's not self-serving is when there isn't that kind of logic, and then you're just gonna say, "I'm gonna run 100 meters next week" or something like that without no training and stuff like that. Which sometimes you can see in anime where, Naruto be like, "Believe it, I'm gonna do it," and they're like, but even he gets humbled, right? And he goes through a process. I think you're new. I think you're mute. Sorry, can you? Hello.
is that all
Yeah,
right?
I can hear you. Yeah, go for it. Sorry.
Nah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I just got excited because yeah,
Yeah,
exactly
go for it.
like you said, like Naruto's his whole character arc is being that cocky kid who says what he's gonna do, and over again getting humbled and having stronger characters overshadow him, and
Hmm.
really locks in. And it's not that he stops talking, like he never lets that dilute his belief. But as he's exposed to the reality of how high he has to climb, it just enables him to see a path to find it. And often that's what we've got to do as well. It's not that what you're saying is wrong, more so that you haven't been exposed to the reality of what you have to do to get there. So it's always being responsive enough. The response to being humbled isn't, oh, maybe I'm not that guy. Maybe I'm not going to be Hokage. The response to getting humbled is, maybe I misevaluated my climb, and
Hmm.
I have that all the time. Like literally, the last 2 years has been that for me. Like I've been in that that Naruto first 50 episodes of just the level is just getting higher.
Yeah.
The people that I was running with a couple years back, a lot of people are now running a couple seconds quicker. There are people hitting 43s in Olympic finals now. Trackflation is real. And but yeah, it's just trusting that I've been patiently laying foundations to be able to kick it with them lot at the top when everything comes together. And I really believe that. And also evaluating the way that I do that. Like, what
Mm.
am I willing to sacrifice? What am I willing to wait for? What are the things that mean more to me to sort of be patient with than just kind of like beeline to the result without
Mm.
kind of nurturing and refining the fire, refining what I have to say, refining how like not many people think, who am I as a champion? Like, what do I have to offer? Because it can be a bit of a conveyor belt. Uh, if you win the championships, the sport can be quite cruel in its collective amnesia. So it's like, okay, how do I maintain longevity, but how do I also leave an impact that not just resembles like the champions we've had of late, but also the Muhammad Ali's,
Mm.
people who really left a lasting impact on the sport and on the world. So those are the things that I'm pondering every day, just believing that when my time comes, I'll be I'll be refined to
Yeah.
perfection. If that makes sense.
No, that definitely makes sense. And you talked about that post-Olympic blues. This is something I know Michael Phelps and I'm sure many others I heard struggled with regarding identity and purpose. I know you also spoke about it in one of your Instagram posts as well. So thank you for being vulnerable in that. Um, and I'm not putting all this power or a thing on anime, but did anime help with any of that or not in terms of influencing? I'm just curious.
Right. So what anime taught me, one of the many things that in alignment with my faith, which I'll always have to put out.
Mm.
But I think anime is incredible because it it stops being about like, I don't tune into anime. We even have jokes in the community about it, where an anime is just hype moments and aura. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
that's some top tier slander because in any other context, that would be the biggest compliment. But in the anime community, that means it lacks that weight, that narrative that says, I'm here to speak to and speak into the soul of something. And when we go to animes, we go there to feel. We go there to things that are very vulnerable. Even in the most pure battle shonen, I don't believe there's not a deep anime. People try telling me Naruto is not deep.
What?
Deepest anime out there.
That is so deep.
The big three battles, they need to stop, man. Everyone's just got it. But yeah, man, like for me, especially like that idea of, having that kind of fire within you that hasn't been unlocked yet, having that loneliness and transmuting it into something was huge for me. I watched it while I was going through it with the post-Olympic blues. I was in a place and I was just binging the first couple arcs of Naruto again, being like, yo, that's just like me. That's how I feel a lot of the time. And seeing how he speaks to people like Gaara, who went the path of, initially went down the path and Sasuke gave, and of sort of vengeance and bitterness, and just being like, nah, fam, like, kindness. That's almost the weak way. That's the easy way out. Kindness, diligence, hard work. And it was like he was speaking directly to me. And that's just something, it's fiction, but it's real. It's so, I realize that one thing we do as humans is we go to our fiction to see real feelings and real vulnerability. But then when it's real life, it's too real for us to digest.
Yeah.
We like our reality a little fake, and we like our fiction a little real. And I was like, imagine if I could package this reality and the fact that I'm living out this story, this narrative arc that has been told in fiction many, many times. Imagine if I could show that this is all true. The darkness that you feel, the emptiness can be transformed into something beautiful. And that these are archetypes that are being displayed in fiction. They're not falsehoods. It's not just nice fairy tale things, but this is reality. And it may feel far away, but only because it's something that's not spoken about. So I was like, as someone who's a follower of Christ, I was like, I was like, Lord, how can I use myself as a vessel of your truth? And that's when it came to me, like, just share everything. Victory's already been decided. Christ has already written your story, your perfect anime, and you're just living it. So go to air right now. Pilot episode. You're the athlete who made it to near the top and felt how empty it can feel when it's not upholstered by faith, by that understanding of grace, by that appreciation for the journey, and then start your show from there. And yeah, I'm trying to live like a real shonen, man. Like I'm really
for sure. And I didn't mean to put that on or that much weight on anime. Of course, God, as a Christian myself as well, I find purpose in following Christ. But it was just more so from an anime standpoint.
It's sorry, just to say, like, there's so many, like, as a Christian, I'd recommend people who are like maybe struggling, like, because the Bible can be very dense, but there are some, and I'd even what I want to start doing is even sort of breaking down some biblical kind of like parables in terms of anime, so people can
sick,
because there's genuinely so much in there that mirrors like Christ's message to a T. And especially like there's some that are directly inspired, like Full Metal Alchemist has some very religiously philosophical stuff in it. I definitely say, well, Neon Genesis Evangelion.
For sure, yeah.
So there's a lot of these guys are very, very heavily inspired by Christianity, and they thread very wonderful Christian narratives in their episodes. And I definitely recommend people approach it with that lens.
Yeah, you're absolutely sorry. No, sorry. I was going to say you're absolutely right. I know the Bible says there's nothing new under the sun, as it were. And I've seen even One Piece. We had a conversation about how much biblical references are in One Piece. I'm not sure if you, I know One Piece is 1,000 episodes. I'm not sure if you've seen it, but for me, it's the Go anime. But
Great. Yeah, I'm still in that. Every once in a while, my brother would be watching it, and I just be
yeah.
getting in, and I'd be, if I had the stamina, I definitely do this, but it's gonna happen.
Yeah, yeah, it's a long one though. I don't blame you. 400 meters is a brutal sport, and I know you said you're training some of that. I remember Usain Bolt talking about how he used to train for the 400 and 200, and he said it like it was one of the hardest things doing the 400. In the last bend onto the straight, the last 100, is there an anime where the character's philosophy or grit helps you mentally push through it? I'm not saying that you're on the last 100 and you're thinking about Naruto or something, but is there maybe something that you can reference right now as you're sitting here where you're thinking, that last 100, there's like an anime that potentially would have inspired me to like, get across the line?
Oh, easily. There's so many, but the one that I have in mind is going at the end of the Hunter exam,
Mm.
where he's getting absolutely whooped
Yes,
and
yes.
no chance of beating this guy, and he just gets up, stands there, and goes again. Uh, I definitely think that very because that's there's no winning against the lactic on that home straight.
Exactly, exactly.
Say I'm not going down. Like
Like the guy was like, "Do you want me to break your arm?" And Gon like, it's just like Gon is crazy, low key. There's something about the 7 stages of grief. Someone broke down Gon's like, with the whole kite. I won't spoil it for people. Go and watch Hunter x Hunter if you haven't. Crazy, but it's an amazing, amazing show. I think if the Togashi, unfortunately, I know he's ill, but if he didn't stop, that would be one of the best animes. But not stop, but kind of slow down. But yeah, I think Gon is crazy how he goes through the 7 stages of grief all the way to the end, as you know, when he transforms. But it's insane. Like, and that's another deep anime as well. Like the thing about anime, when I really hate when people say it's just cartoons. It's I know technically animes, animations, cartoons, but it's so much deeper than that.
say
Especially
like
when it comes to the content.
yeah, even cartoons are not just cartoons, bro. Like
Mm.
uh, Avatar: The Last Airbender animation
Mm-hmm.
cartoon, one of the deep stories, and even I'd even say like Teen like there's so many Teen Titans, but other animations, Pixar's animations
Mm-hmm.
that really take a lot of care to create because you can't cut corners with animation. These guys are going frame by frame.
Yeah, it's
They
crazy.
bring love into it. Any cartoon that is put out there usually has something deep to it, and I never dismiss. If anything, I'm like it's just live action. It's like someone just pointed a camera and said go, and some studio backed it. More time you're gonna see problems in live action than you are in animation, and I promise that's across the board. Uh, so yeah, I this idea of respecting one medium over the other, I've never understood it, and
Mm.
I say that anime is one of those that just is a dense art form, and I never dismiss anything either. Like there's always something in 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 anything,
Mm-hmm.
everything. That's but in anything, like any genre, whether it be I used to be like isekai, even isekai something in it. So I definitely say like respect the medium.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I've like these last 2 years, I've been broadening out my remit in terms of just not just shonen, but like you said, isekai. I've even watched some romance, which is actually quite funny. So it's just broadening my horizons because there's so much anime, right? But I think I didn't want to get trapped in that shonen mindset as well. So I've enjoyed stuff like Delicious in Dungeon, My Life as a Slime. And then from a romance standpoint, there's one really good one called Kageyama-sama Love is War, which is like comedy slash romance, which is really good as well. So yeah, I've just been broadening up, but there's so many anime out there for sure. Are you currently watching anything specifically right now?
Right now, what am I watching? I've been most recently I was put on Apothecary Diaries.
Yeah.
Golden. So
Yeah, so good.
yeah, nah, I'm so locked in on that one.
Mm,
And I especially find it cool from the perspective of that, obviously coming from like a materials engineering background,
mm,
like the detective style, like but with chemistry involved.
yeah.
just being like, rah, how would I kick it if I was in China? Would my science like actually be able to get me through stuff, like,
Mm.
and the plotting and scheming. I've really enjoyed that. Um, and what else have I been watching? Dandadan.
Yep.
Dandadan's pretty great this season.
Mm.
If you can handle some of the
Yeah, the humor.
uh, very gently, very like no holds barred, but they're again very deep, like very the arc had some real depth to it.
Yeah,
So yeah, now I've been enjoying the latest season of anime. Also, just rewatching some of the classics, like
sure.
trying to get back into Naruto again, just kind of slowly getting through the episodes.
It's one of the, honestly, like I don't know why, and this is one thing I hear about the fandom is that when people say Naruto's their favorite anime or they started with Naruto or something like that, and anime fans are like, "Oh, you don't know anime because you started with Naruto, or maybe you think Naruto is your best anime." It's just like people do not deep how well made Naruto is. Yes, it had a lot of fillers, but take that out. It is one of, and I think it's the big three for a reason, right? In terms of the manga sales and so on and so forth with Bleach and One Piece. But Naruto is incredible from start to finish, bar those 100 filler episodes, which I watched. But yeah, honestly, it's an incredible. The twist and turns, Madara, Itachi, Orochimaru, like, nah, I might start watch that again, you know.
And back is when you've grown and seeing other animes like which are kind of more overtly complex, and then coming back,
Mm.
oh, he low key cooked in a way that I
Hmm.
appreciate when I was looking for the hype moments and aura, like
Yeah, yeah,
real depth to it. It's great.
for sure. Have you seen Kaiju number 8 yet?
Haven't seen Kaiju number 8,
That's good. You like that. I think you'd like that.
most definitely.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. If you can, if I know time, but if you can find the time, that and I'm sure you've heard about solo leveling. Um,
Look, that I watched that one there around the time I was doing around the time I was training. I can't remember if it was, yeah, no, it must have been while I was training for the Olympics.
mhm.
Bruv, like especially that first
Yeah,
he's just figuring it out.
yeah,
Crazy.
insane, absolutely insane. Let's go into some fun questions. If you had to build like a 4x4 anime relay squad, who's in your team and what order are they running?
Okay. So first of all would be you'd have to say yeah, I'm pretty sure his name's Akira from Devilman Crybaby. So those who don't know, he got possessed but still retained his humanity, and it made him an incredible track star. The 100 meters in something crazy, like I think it was 9 point something 8. Um, who else are we putting on there? Um, we've got to get. I'm trying to think who from the Naruto verse is best suited. Um, it's got to be Madara. Like,
Okay.
so we're gonna get Madara out there. On the 4x4, we're gonna go with uh
Yeah.
Killua Godspeed.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, Killua and Godspeed is in there. Then
Which one?
the Megan Thee Stallion, like the one who's based off Megan Thee Stallion, and suddenly her name has left me.
In My Hero Academia.
That's who I had
You're
in
talking
mind.
about the bunny girl, Uzigami. I can't remember. I can't say her name. I'm butchering it.
All
But you
right,
know what I'm talking about, yeah.
let's just all right. So I'm saying, all right, yeah, fourth on the 4x4 has to be uh Rumi Rumi
Yeah,
and I don't know how to say her last name,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
All right,
Big
sweet.
Stallion, so that's obviously a big help right there. And she's kick ass.
She's her name was Mirko. That was it. Mirko. All right, now strong squad, strong squad. And you
Yeah.
said she's gonna be who's gonna be what's the order again? Sorry. So
So
Madara.
yeah, I think we're going Madara to set us off. And then we're going Akira, not that Akira, but Akira from Devilman. maybe second leg to give
Mm-hmm.
us strong first 200.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Going with Kirua, Godspeed on third leg, and then we go on last leg to bring it home.
Sick. Nice. Nice. Strong. Um, let's say the Olympic gun starts or and is swapped for an anime opening track. What song do you want blasting to hype you up?
Oh, an opening track. All right, so my favorite opening track of all time is Cowboy Bebop intro.
Yeah.
I've played that before races many a time. Another goated one is well, the one of the early Naruto ones was absolutely silly. Steins Gate one, I think
Mm.
one of the goats. Yeah, the Steins Gate opening I can listen to this day. Um, I'm gonna go with that one. I'm gonna go with
Steingates, yeah. The Steingates one, yeah?
Steins Gate one. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do you remember if that was the first opening or second opening?
Think it might have been the second opening.
Okay.
I'm trying
No.
how it goes. If you can find it and play it over, it goes so silly. That's,
I saw you bump into that. I was like, yeah.
that's the one.
That's the
Oh,
one. That's opening
man.
one. Sick. Okay. Okay. Nice. Would you rather run a 400-meter race against Rock Lee without his ankle weights, guys, fully released, or Usain Bolt with Ultra Instinct?
How bad that is. Well, at the end of the day, Rock Lee without his ankle weights still is still defeatable. Usain Bolt without Ultra Instinct was unbeatable in his
Yeah.
prime. But with Ultra Instinct, nah, like myth, go with Rock Lee. Gonna yeah,
You're gonna go. Sorry, Rock Lee. I didn't hear that. Rock Lee or Usain? Sorry.
gonna have to go with Rock Lee. If I'm
Yeah.
gonna buy anyone, let it at least be visible.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Fair play. I think I heard Usain was a Naruto fan. I'm not too sure, but I heard he might be a Naruto.
I believe that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
too much aura not to be a weeb of some kind. Like
for sure. You're like you mentioned, it's the last 100 meters. You're turning on the bend. You're coming into the last home straight, 100 meters. What anime power would you want at that particular time to help you excel?
what anime power would I want coming onto the home straight? Um, yeah, no, it would have to be Godspeed, man. It would have to be.
Mm.
Yeah, man.
Nice. That would be just. I would do Sharingan and make everyone feel like they finished the race so they slow down.
Some powerful again.
Yeah, exactly. Oh mate. If you create a sports anime track and field, what is the main story arc gonna be? Like if you create your own anime, what would this main story arc be?
Yes. So I hear that this season there will be an anime coming out based on 100 meters, which is going to be cold.
Oh, sick.
Called 100 meters. I think it's an OVA. Either it's a short season or one big episode. But I'm
Mm,
super excited to see what comes out of that.
mm,
I think there's a lot of stories you could tell. I
mm,
think there's so many stories. Like I see great stories all around me all the time, but I'd love to see one that's specific to relays because I think while the individual, like plight is incredible, I think it's underrated how much of a team you have to build for it to be a good relay. And I think that
mm-hmm,
individual success. And so I'd love to see one where it's like two people who grew up together, potentially like had a rivalry and then joined different sports clubs. And then it's about them meeting again at nationals, having undergone
mm,
arcs. One of them had early success and then is sort of like starting to peter out and learning to wrestle with their pride, while the other ones worked really hard over the years to build themselves to the point, and they end up on the same relay together, representing either their country or their club. The one who had lots of individual success is very like bitter, resentful for the fact that they're now on the relay and they
mm.
their club mate who they thought they'd left long behind them years ago. This guy's just worked hard to get back on the team, and they've got to put aside their differences and put out a great relay. And I think that would be a hit. I'd also love it for anything that like puts a spotlight on how incredible of an event the relay is, because like we all got show up for like, oh, who's going to individually take it, but there's something so magical about there being something which is like you're representing your nation, and it's about that synergy. Yeah, that would be my.
For sure. I mean, anime is all about friendship, so I think you can definitely build some great storylines in there. You had that all planned out, man. He's writing it out right now. Hey, man, if anyone listening takes that idea, you owe Alex royalties, yeah? But no, that is definitely a solid idea. Do you ever think of your races as live action anime battles where fans are watching the story unfold in real time?
All the time, bro. Like to a extent, like it probably, if that wasn't going on so much in my head, then maybe I wouldn't do some of the stunts I've pulled in the first. But yeah, no, easily I like to think of it as dramatized as possible, and it feels like that as well. Like the talk beforehand, like how, like genuinely, I just smile every time because I'm like I'm really living out the craziest anime, the craziest like action sequence, and I'm super blessed to be here.
It would be like that story you made. It would be cool, like just to feature yourself as well in there. You know, like someone, you know, when the lesser, and not lesser, but the kind of junior athletes coming up, and then they kind of put them up against like icons in the field, as it were. I remember watching Blue Lock, and they had like Mbappe. I don't know if they were licensed, maybe they were, I don't know, but they had like them playing against Mbappe or Ronaldo. Can you imagine like these young juniors running against you and the team? That would be quite cool, actually.
And that would be cold, you know.
Yeah,
Those seasoned coaches, like, yeah, that could be sick.
that would be very cool. Very, very cool. Who would be the best anime coach for Team GB Athletics? Who do you think would be the best coach?
Who we could use? We could, um, man, we could definitely use a. Oh man,
What's the
I'm.
anime?
Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yu Yu Hakusho, yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Female characters. Let me just.
the coach specifically.
Do you know what? Tell her I have not seen you yet, so that's
Not-
that's on me. That's on me. Is it Murako or Genkai?
Genkai.
Genkai. Okay, Genkai. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was her name. Yeah, she's cold. You haven't seen it, but she's just very cold, very measured, knows when to power him off, knows when to hit him, and I think she'd be a great coach for the GB squad. I think what GB right now, if I were to be very honest, what we're lacking a little bit right now is a bit of that dog, a little bit of that poetry. Incredible, like logical brains, like incredibly good at getting ourselves to a point where we're trained to like optimal numbers. But one thing that I think the last Olympics showed is those Americans, when it matters, they'll dig deep and find that ultra instinct mode at the very last minute. And they just know how to dig deep and find that dog. So I feel like we need a coach that kind of has that like poetic essence and how to bring that kind of like mystical element out of us. And I think she'd be a good example of that. I think there are other coaches as well that would be good examples of that. I'm trying to think. Can you think of any what
You think Jiraiya would be a good coach? I don't know.
I was gonna say Jiraiya. I just didn't want to run into the problematic nature of that. We've had trying to
So true. That is so true. Him and Master Roshi, boy.
those are the two examples of me. Like, nah, they're getting me straight away.
For sure, for sure. Let's see. Otherwise, I think Guy Sensei would be a good coach, or Kakashi would be a good coach.
Guy Sensei would go crazy.
Yeah, he's just so like motivating. Yeah. So he would be a good coach for sure. I think Gojo. I don't know, man. I feel like he's also problematic in the way people won't be focused, if you know what I mean. Gojo. Let me know. But I'm taking this podcast
You
somewhere
reckon
else,
all
but
all your goats, all your fake wouldn't last a day out here.
coach will be having bare baby mamas. No, I'm joking. No, I don't know. He's definitely a good coach. But I don't know if he's what the team needs. But I think Guy Sensei would be definitely. I think he's like pure. Whatever that thing he keeps saying, the fountain of youth or whatever. I can't remember. Yeah, he would be definitely good. I think Biscuit would be good as well. She's your no
This,
nonsense.
yeah.
No, this is what you need, and she has that element of spark as well. So I think she'd be good as well, actually, for sure. I mean, there's many. It depends on where you want to go as well, because if you really want to go diabolical, right? I don't know if you've seen Death Note,
Ooh,
but you
ooh.
could get Elle or Akira to be one of the coaches. Oh, they would go mad. They would bring psychology in there. They would be like Mourinho, the Americans doing all sorts of tactics.
Stuff banned by the Geneva Convention to get the best out of us. That might be what we need. Nah, it's yeah, you're right. If you think of it as not even characters who are just coaches,
Mm.
there are crazy picks out there who do a really good job. I was thinking, even from that perspective, imagining like a Netted or even a Meruem stepping in
Yes.
their philosophy,
Yes.
and yeah, that would be something crazy. But just
That
that
would
idea,
be sick.
Netero and his character arc of like practicing the same punch, like how many you can do before sunrise. I'd love to do some mad training like that.
Jeez. What's like the maddest training you ever done that you, because basically, yeah, this is how I love anime, but sometimes you need to keep anime in anime. So I saw Rock Lee kicking trees, and I used to do Taekwondo on uni championship and national level. And I just went to start kicking trees as well to get my shins hard. Not advisable, people. I kicked it once or twice. I think it was a big oak tree. I said, nah, let me not do that again. But is there any training methods you've potentially taken from anime? Maybe not that severe, but just maybe something like, actually, that might work.
I'll be real. In 2016, that's when I made my first junior squad.
Mm-hmm.
And I decided from that point, that was also conveniently around the time where One Punch Man came out or was getting. And obviously, One Punch Man has a very simple, easily memorable workout routine. And I thought, boom, 100 push-ups, 100 press-ups, 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats,
Mm-hmm.
10 run every single day. What could go wrong? 100 push-ups is very, like, that is very heavy hypertrophy.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a big propensity to put on muscle. I'm one of the like the most, yeah, like already one of the heaviest sort of like 400-meter runners out there. I came in that next season indoors. I must have weighed about 95 kilograms compared to the normal like eight, like that's usually like 10 kilograms more than
Wow. You just went wham.
it press ups. I looked great. I did not run very fast. I very quickly got injured. Like, what happened?
Yeah.
One Punch Man workout. That's what taught me, yeah, that some things in anime keep in
Yeah,
anime.
exactly.
The ethos, but the
Mm.
program itself is there for a reason. Yeah, since then, listening to my coach, but taking inspiration, taking the vibes and elements of it, and 100% like like I believe in like the breathing style, so like the breathing,
Mm.
and I believe in like having training arcs and certain certain cues that they give.
Mm.
Yeah, mechanicality wise, I'm sticking to my coach's plan.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Like, I learned this in anime. I'm sure it would now. Like, take that. For sure, for sure. Yeah, like you said, like some things, like the inspiration is like weighted vest. I got a weighted, no weighted clothes in Dragon Ball Z. I got a weighted vest. So things like that, I think they, can easily be transpired onto the real world. But yeah, things like to your point, 100 squats, 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, and then a run is it's crazy stuff. Especially like you say, you have to train for your sport as well. So kudos for you to do that though. That's mad. That in itself is a crazy thing to do every day. Look, Alex, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you coming on the episode. Really, really thank you so much for sharing such insights and knowledge. Every great anime ends with a message for the fans. Before we get to the super quick fire round, what message what message to young athletes or young anime fans who dream of reaching your level one day, what message would you give to them?
All right. What message I'd give to them is, if you're holding on to a delusion and your environment is telling you that, or things around you are enforcing this idea that you're not capable, then yeah, I definitely recommend holding tight to it. Don't let the world convince you that you're delusional.
Mm.
Create your own logic, create your own power system within yourself. It doesn't like mine. I have my process of enforcing my belief through maths and numbers. That might not be what you do, but definitely seek out ways to make your seed. That I like to think of it as a seed. Faith is small as a mustard seed. Protect it at all costs. Don't let the world convince you otherwise, but make it ritual routine to convince yourself that if you burn for that desire, if you wake up every day thinking about what you're capable of and what you can achieve, then it's put there for a reason. So protect it and create a logic system for you and you alone. Think of it like your shonen power system, that allows you to develop, to curate, to nurture that inspiration, and then go and get whatever it is that you want to achieve. Go get it, bro.
Amen. Amen. Please, look, we're going to end with a super quick fire round, which is just an either or.
Yeah.
So let's just go. Are you a morning or night person?
I'm a night person.
Goku or Vegeta?
Oh. Always Vegeta growing up. Now I've grown a deeper appreciation for Goku. I'm probably still leaning to Vegeta.
All right, Vegeta. Nintendo or PlayStation?
Nintendo.
Naruto or Sasuke?
Naruto. So I'm not going to lie, Sasuke, he's one of my least favorite characters in all of anime. I'm sorry.
Damn. We'll unpack that maybe another time. Law or Gojo?
Sorry?
Law. Oh, you haven't seen One Piece. Never mind. Gon or Killua?
Oh, ooh. Oh, man. That was, I can't pick between them.
No, all right. I mean, it's an either or. I'll let you off. Then. The last song you listened to?
Last song I listened to was a Mesmer, Ethiopian Orthodox Mesmer song. Yeah.
Smash Bros or Mario Kart?
I'm gonna say Mario Kart because I play it more.
Chefing or eating?
Chefing or eating? Oof. I eating.
Pokemon Gold or Silver?
All my days. Gold.
Wait. Yeah, TikTok or Instagram?
Instagram for me.
Manga or anime?
Anime.
Pokemon or Digimon?
Pokemon.
Last anime film you watched?
Yo, what was the last anime film I watched? It might have been Spirited Away.
Nice. K-pop or hip hop?
Hip hop.
And then Naruto or Bleach?
Naruto for me because I haven't seen Bleach yet.
Yeah, no worries. Alex, thank you so much. You once said your every beautiful, messy step, every setback, every connection made along the way. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your journey to LA 2028. Thank you for coming on the podcast. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you. Just honestly, thank you so much.
Up on, man. Thank you so much for having me. You've added to my list as well. So when I've worked through that, I'd love to come back again and maybe do some more on that.
Jeez, we'd love to have you, man. We'd love to have you. Until next time, everyone, peace. Oh, I know this. Click on the next video before he lets it off. Impeccable form, by the way, and the Hunter x Hunter drip is... Get out of there! It's still there, though. Yes, but in his mind, it's gone.